for the delay. Mayor Pro Tem wants to participate via Zoom. I want to respect everybody's time by go ahead and getting started today. And somewhere in here, we're going to try to get a Zoom, okay? All right, so good afternoon and welcome to the city. I need every prompt I can get tonight. Good. The City Council meeting work session for September 2nd, 2025, called to order at 6:05. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Mayor Dr. Danya L. Sarter.
I'm here.
Mayor Pro Tem Messick. Councilmember Don Dixon.
Present.
Councilmember Powell.
Here.
Councilmember Miller.
Present.
Councilmember Lester.
Here.
Councilmember Alfred Dixon.
Present.
Did I hear if Mayor Pro Tem Messick?
She's not going to do it on the phone. You have to be via Zoom.
Let the record reflect at this time that Mayor Pro Tem Messick is not present or absent.
And did Shelby go try to work on something, like a laptop or something? Yeah, like a give me 1 second, please. Ms. Bentley. Council, we have a adoption of agenda before us. I do want to add just a few quick items to it, please. Well, maybe I don't. Under new business, K, I like 2026 employee holiday schedule. L would be 2026 council schedule. Is that right? Yes. And M, nuisance abatement ordinance. Excuse me. Hey, Attorney David, do you have there's a draft of that ordinance? If not, we can discuss. I wasn't planning to vote. I was just going to get it out there. Is that okay?
Mayor, I circulated it, and
Is that the ordinance?
yes.
Is it in our agenda?
No, that's not the red line version. I could,
If you email the wet line version, it's further down. I would like to just get copy and just get it into the council's hand for discussion.
I'll email it.
It's not for a vote next week, but I figure it's going to take us about 2 times to go through it.
No, that's right.
You don't mind? Okay. Thank you. If you would email it to Shelby or Miss Maria, they'll make a copy.
Thank you. And I can answer questions too.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So those are the 3 items I wanted to add. Discussion of 2026 employee schedule. That's the holiday schedule. The 2026 council schedule, and then also the nuisance abatement ordinance that will be provided a copy. None of these are for consideration of a vote. It's just for discussion, so we'll know how to proceed to hopefully have on our October calendar. I had add budget. Under old business, item E, I would like to be a budget discussion. Again, just a discussion. I know you all were just given that 9 mil budget in front of you, but wanted to see if there was any public questions from the council that we wanted to dive deeper into so we can continue to have it as a working document. So again, that was 3 items added to new business. Item K would be 2026 discussion of the employee holiday schedule. L, 2026 council meeting schedule. M, nuisance abatement ordinance. And then under old business, just item E, which is just a discussion of the 2026 budget. Council, are there any other additions or deletions to the council, to the the agenda? What's this? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept the agenda with said changes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Thank you all so very much, council. At this time, we originally had a presentation that was going to be by E.B. Spark. Did we decide to strike that item? I'll discuss it and then we can ask for no motion on that. So I don't have a presentation this evening, and I don't believe we have any other presentations. Am I correct? All right. At this time, we'll have public comment. Did anybody bring the public comment sheet in to me? Is anybody here that signed in for public comment? You can come on to the mic.
Madam Mayor, there was one name, but it was scratched out.
Okay, just any public comment. Ooh, you don't know how much the mayor appreciates no public comment this year, today. Y'all wore me out with the budget hearing. Thank you so much. At this time, Madam Clerk, if you need me to read the items, just let me know. None? Okay, perfect, thank you. All right, you give it to her. Old business, item A, and if you need me to read the items while you do that, then just let me know. Are you
Okay.
good?
Yes.
You need me to read
I'll
them?
give it a shot.
Okay, perfect, all right.
Council to discuss conditional use permit application 25 CUP 006, submitted by Danny Orr. The request is for a community assembly hall, retail space, and an apothecary that will also serve coffee and light fare. The property is located at 154 South Main Street, Jonesboro, Georgia, 30236, parcel 13241D E001. Required hearing and consideration set for Monday, September 8, 2025, and staff is recommending approval with conditions.
Thank you. Ms. Akuza?
Yes. Good evening, Mayor, Council, and citizens of Jonesboro. This request was previously discussed at the August work session, but to recap, the item is for a conditional use permit to allow for a community assembly hall with retail space and an apothecary serving herbal products, coffee, and light fare within the H2 district. The property sits on 1.49 plus or minus acres. The site plan shows adequate parking for this particular use, but lacks the 50-foot buffer from adjacent residential property. And with that, staff is recommending approval of this use with the requirement of a 6-foot solid fence against the residential property.
Have we spoken with the property owner in regard to the acceptance of the condition of a solid fence around?
He has a copy of the actual staff report. He didn't come back with any questions or anything.
I think Mr. Orr is here. Mr. Orr, you all okay with that fence?
The residential property that's exceeding the buffer, what property is that? Is that Pregnancy Care Center?
Yes, I believe so, yes.
Well, that's actually not a resident, that's owned by the church.
That's what I was wondering. So that one's,
So that's the church property, it's a ministry.
okay. So she's new, so she's not familiar with all the different ones. That's why I wondered that were you all okay with that? Mr. Kuta, let's look at that and work with them and then come back with us next week, if that is a stipulation that we still need to enforce. Basically, I believe it's a business to the right that's owned by the church.
Yes.
And this is gonna ownership is gonna be by the church?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let her review that. She may end up keeping it, but I just wanted to check with you on that. Were there any other, okay. For future develop, can you come up some, Mr. Orr? Is there any connection between the two businesses or in the future development? I don't want to impede a fence, and then later on, there's some connectivity between the two businesses or anything.
No, there's no
Okay.
continuity there.
Yeah, so we may end up keeping that in there, but we will speak with you next week, just after she looks at the land and ownership of the properties around it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
All right, that all?
Staff, council, do you have any questions for Mr. Orr or Mr. Mr. Orr?
Who actually owns this?
This is owned by, oh, I'm sorry.
CKC Properties, Miss Cindy Cathy. And I think it's her folks that man the Pregnancy Care Center as well. I don't know if
Is this gonna be a not-for-profit, gonna be under a 503?
that, no, I don't think so. It will be a business, a retail.
Mayor,
Yes,
I'd just like to say I love the repurpose. I'm excited to see more spaces come into the community that we can gather. So thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Anything else?
any other questions? Okay, so we'll have a hearing for it next week. I don't think there'll be anything. She'll get with you, and the recommendation will be something that agreed
Mayor,
upon.
Council, God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hurd, did you get a chance to speak to Mr. Orr? Did you get a chance to speak to Mr. Orr? Okay, perfect, okay. While you were here, I was saying he's there. All right,
Letter B.
yeah, I just want to make sure there's no other questions on that. We'll check on the fence, and it'll be, still be staff recommendation, but based on that condition. All right, thank you.
Okay. Council to discuss conditional use permit application 25 CUP 007 submitted by Tsunami Volleyball, Inc. The request is to operate a nonprofit volleyball recreation facility engaging primarily in youth instruction, league play, and tournaments. The property is located at 7776 Jonesboro Road, Suite 100, Jonesboro, Georgia 30236. Parcel 12049C D002. Required hearing and consideration set for Monday, September 8th, 2025. Staff recommends approval with conditions.
Good evening again, Mayor, Council, and citizens of Jonesboro. This item was introduced at last month's work session as well. And to recap, this item request is for a conditional use permit to allow for a nonprofit indoor volleyball recreation facility within the M1 zoning district. The property is located on approximately 9.09 plus or minus acres. The proposed use includes youth instruction, league play, and occasional tournaments with no exterior modifications proposed at this time. Regarding this use, there was concerns about the parking, as far as it not being adequate to meet the conditions, but staff still recommends approval if the applicant can show us a traffic control plan along with a, they mentioned in a letter of intent that they will have a shuttle service on tournament days, and those two conditions would satisfy that.
I see one condition, so that is embedded in that condition.
So
Am I-
not sure if you have the updated one, but,
You have a 1 and a 2 condition on yours? Yeah, we only have y'all have 1 on yours? Just 1.
okay, I can provide the second one. But to read into the record, condition 2 states that the applicant would develop a traffic control plan for tournaments and games, ensuring continuous police presence throughout the duration of the event.
Okay. And is that specific enough, Chief Cato, to satisfy you that we would have a officer for, particular to direct traffic in and out onto Highway 54?
Yes, and it doesn't have to be an officer who directs the traffic in the parking lot areas, just so as long as they have a flagger of some sort.
Okay, perfect. Is that the way is,
Traffic coming in on 54 and go out on Omar.
perfect, okay. Will they provide this before our vote next week? Because I'm sure we want the plan in place, or is the plan sufficient before? Because I'm sure they want to start working like soon as we get to it.
possible. So we would definitely prefer it before the issuance of their business license, but if they can have it by next week, that'd be ideal.
Yeah, so if they can get it to Chief this week, I just want to sign off from Chief,
Okay.
then it'll be included for approval.
Okay.
Council, are y'all okay with that? That sometime this week, Chief will just review it?
And Mayor,
Yes.
and you're speaking about the shuttle service or the traffic control
No, I just want to,
plan?
the shuttle service, I'm not so much worried about, just as a travel plan, like when they have big tournaments, getting people out, exiting out the other, just a plan in place, that's all.
Okay.
Are you all okay with that? If you would just get,
We had one event that was a problem, we've actually eliminated that, so 99% of what we asked for.
okay, perfect. Yeah, if you would just get it to Chief maybe by Thursday, and that way it'll be part of this packet for next week, and you all are for a hearing, and then we'll vote on there. Council, is there any other things or any other concerns? All right, thank you all so very much.
Letter
Thank
C. Council to discuss updates regarding a forensic audit.
And I don't know if Attorney Dreyer or if Mrs. Kennedy would like to speak to this. I just wanted them to provide an update. Ms. Kennedy has had a few minutes to kind of get an overview.
I provided all the correspondence this morning to Ms. Kennedy, so she hasn't had much time, but if.
Well, can you provide the update? I know there was some issues in regard to, I'm concerned about the additional funding that was asking that we were not able to vote on. So I think that might be on you. Do you all want to hear that today? I just wanted it to be on the, so who? I don't know. I don't want to speak on it.
I mean, I read all the information that he gave me this morning. I understand that we're at the point right now where it's up to you guys to decide if you want to pay the additional money for that audit to move forward.
Okay, and Attorney Dreyer, is that email in here? I don't see it.
That's a good question. I know council.
I don't want to table it unless we table it for next week, but I want us to be able to,
I have the one where they were showing where they wanted to add additional stuff for phase 2 and phase 3.
and then I know Attorney Dreyer gave his input and included the council, and I'm not sure if you got a consensus back from the council. Council, are you all familiar with that? It was okay. Y'all didn't get that? Okay. So Attorney Dreyer, could you please, tomorrow, give us a synopsis of where we are with the forensic audit, how much they've done, just an update or something. And then I know there was a question in regard to the $30,000 that I didn't have the procurement right to approve. And so we need to know that so it can be on the agenda next week.
We have a very good paper trail, Mayor. Happy to send
Okay,
that out.
that's perfect. I thought we had already received it because I think we did because Mayor Pro Tem referenced it. But I know we have some questions, so can we pick that up and make sure we have everything exhaustive next week? Okay, thank you. We can go to the next item.
Letter D, council to discuss updates regarding the annual audit.
Okay, we signed the contract with Tab and Tab last week.
Give me 1 second, let me get this before them. This is the,
Okay.
I asked Mrs. Kennedy to prepare a audit 2023 schedule, but also to look at how what it looks like in an ideal world, to get us updated. I also think it's important for us to realize that while I was doing some discovery, the 2020 audit, we didn't receive the final report until January. So for the 2022 audit, I wasn't elected then, was I? No, I wasn't.
We received the final audit for January, for 2022 in June of 2023.
No, January of 23.
No, it was, the actual letter was dated June 23rd, 2023.
No, let's go check. I thought it was January because we're gonna check and see. Yeah, one of them. So, yeah, you're right.
It's June.
June, yeah.
It was dated June.
It was June. So that was our last one, June of 2023.
Yeah.
So right now, we're working on 23.
We're working on the 23
Okay.
audit. Like I said, we got the letter from Tab and Tab last week. We signed off on the engagement letter. And so what I did was I called them and they set up the portal for us. So we actually got the portal set up today, and I got as many people as I think will need to participate in the audit signed up on the portal. So we will all have access to the portal. Now what they promised to give me by the end of the week is the provided by client list. So once I get the provided by client list, we will understand exactly what they want us to post to the portal. And me and Candace and Karen will start posting items to the portal next week. And they have said that once we get all of the items posted, they want to come out here by October the 6th and start doing their field work. And then they hope to have everything completed by December the 5th, and then they'll work on getting the report to us. And so then that will be the 2023 report, and hopefully we'll get that before the end of December for 2023. And then the mayor.
So let's stop right there.
Okay.
So does everybody have a good understanding of the process? This is a typical audit process.
Yes, this is it.
We are a little bit ahead of the game because we were able to extract all of our by-client documents provided to our previous audit firm, and we saved those on a C drive. So we're helping that'll help with some of this discovery.
That will help with, it will help with some of the stuff, but the main things right off the bat will be the
Bank.
stuff that they need to do for the, to get acquainted with the city, like the charter and stuff like that. That will be the main thing of us starting to upload for them next week. And then after that, and the mayor wanted me to give a little bit of a schedule after that. I'm comfortable with the schedule that I have so far for the 2023. Now, what I'm doing for 24 and 25 is just estimated. So if we can get the audit report from them at the end of 2025 for 2023, then hopefully we'll go through it and make all of our necessary adjustments. If there are adjusting journal entries, we'll make those in January, and then hopefully by the end of middle of January, 1st of February, we can start uploading the stuff for 2024 into their portal, and then they'll start working on that, and hopefully we'll have that audit finished somewhere between May and June. And then, like I said, these are just estimates, and then hopefully if they finish that up, then maybe by July, we can start uploading the stuff for 2025.
So, and after we get 2024 done, we'll basically be on track because your 2025 year probably would not be submitted to audit until April, May, or June.
Yeah, because even if we do 2025, we close out 2025, we still have to wait for the bank reconciliations to come in. We have to do a lot of cleanup at the end of the year. So even if we finished everything like that, they probably wouldn't be able to start the 2025 audit till like March, the 1st of March or something.
Even in the
like
best
that.
case scenario.
Even in the best scenario,
Okay,
they
great.
wouldn't be able to start it till then.
Council, do y'all have any questions?
How did we choose this company?
Well, Tab and Tab is a CPA firm, and truthfully, I used to work for them. I worked for them about 4 years. Truthfully, I worked for them for 4 years doing field work for them, and so the reason we chose them is because we wanted somebody that can come in and get the work done really quickly. And since they had just finished up with East Point, working for East Point, I asked them, will y'all be able to come in and get the 2023 audit done for us by the end of the year? So they said they could, and then they could jump right into 24 and 25.
So we never
So-
did put it out for RFP or anything along those lines if we needed to.
If you recall, I think at the last council meeting, we got a vote, and I think it was unanimous,
Yes.
to allow us to go ahead and proceed with the attorney and the finance director's recommendation not to exceed a certain amount.
Yeah.
And so we followed that recommendation. And I think
Yeah, they agreed to the price for the 2023.
they agreed to the maximum
They-
price
they
for
agreed to it.
2023.
Yep, they agreed.
Because we didn't have any, well. Okay. So, well, I didn't want to do this, but Ms. Kennedy, would you like to give a assessment on the state of, nothing was, you have to prepare for an audit. And a lot had not been done. And so when we hired Ms. Karen to come in, she's done those reconciliations. She's done the pool, petty cash.
Yeah.
She's done all of that so we can be ready for
Yeah.
one. And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but am I correct?
Yeah, she is. She's still working on some of those bank reconciliations for 24. 23 is good right now, so 23 should be pretty good. But she's still working on some for 24, and then we have to jump on the ones for 25. I'm helping her too. I'm working on some of these bank reconciliations myself. So, you know.
And the other thing is when we got the, and I don't even know if I was on council, but in 2022, when you get an audit report, you're supposed to do certain things.
Yeah, once you get the audit report, we're supposed to go in and do the adjusting journal entries that they suggest so that we can make sure that the numbers in the audit report match what's in the system for 2022. So when the new auditors come in for 2023, they're working with correct numbers. And so that's what we were making
And for some
sure.
reason, that had not been done.
Yeah, we were making sure all of that was done and cleaned up. And I'm still working on the part for the DDA, so.
Any other questions? I think we've kind of moved as quick as we can in lieu of having, and I appreciate you all allowing us to expend funds on Ms. Karen to come in. And so Mrs. Kennedy is working on day-to-day operations, and then she's spending half her time helping with these bank reconciliations. We found a few, I wouldn't say errors, but just some, what do you call it, lack of efficiency? What's a better word?
Yeah, it really is just a lack of efficiency because some of the things that they were doing with their day-to-day stuff, we have to come up there, and then I was like, one day I had to get Candace to help me with it because I didn't understand how to put it together. So that's one of the things we're working on the departments with is how you present your day-to-day work and put it together so that we don't spend 30 minutes trying to put it together. We just need to pull that day out and be able to go into the bank reconciliation and make sure that day is clean. We don't need to be putting your day's work together for you. So that was one of the things that we had to do.
And we also found that there's some Tyler features that had not been activated that would make life, and I'm learning this as
Yeah.
Ms. Kennedy is coming along.
Yeah. Yeah, and so we have a meeting with Tyler also on September the 4th. And everybody that's in the city that wants to be on that meeting, they will be on that meeting with Tyler. So we're trying to really understand what we have so far with Tyler with in code number 9 before we just say we want to move to 10. 10 is much better. It's easier to use it. Reporting is better in 10 and everything, but we still need to figure out what we have for 9 that we're not using and see if we need to move to 10 or if we need to make 9 work for us right now. So that's what we're going to do on September the 8th, I think it actually is. So everybody in the city, I sent the link to them, so everybody's jumping on. And so we're all going to talk to them about what we have and how we can make it work for us and see if we need to move to 10. 10 is better for reporting. I mean, it makes your life easier if you have to take reports to Excel. It's really difficult in number 9 to get reports to Excel so you can get information like in pivot tables and stuff like that. It's really complicated. I still have to get somebody to help me to do that. It's really complicated. It's really difficult. It's not fun.
Anyone else? Councilwoman Miller?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, and thank you so much for getting us together. And so I see in the contract with Tab and Tab, we've signed up with them for 23, 24, and 25 at these current rates?
Yes, ma'am. the 45 is for 23, because that was, I told them, you know, we couldn't do anything more than the 43. So in 24 and 25, they're saying that they're estimating that it might be 50. They don't know until they get in here and start doing the audit. So it might hit 50 in 24 and 25.
50 and 24 and 55 and 25 respectively, I think
Yeah,
is what it's
they
saying.
might. It might. They got to get in here and start working to see where that's going to hit.
Okay, so these are just estimates.
Yep, these are just estimates.
Will it come back before council before we agree to these prices?
For
or-
25, for 24 and 25, the only thing that we approved as far as money is the 45 to 23.
For 20.
I was kind of hoping that, and we can, I want to see how they work, you know, that if we commit to 24 and 25, 40, that they'll give us like the same price. But right now, he just needs to get in, and so we wanted to make sure that we didn't go over the limit that was authorized by council.
Thank you.
I think Mayor Pro Tem had a question. Anybody want to hear it? I mean, anybody want to, not hear it, but read it. Somebody's going to interpret for you. Tell her we have a whole packet that we'll scan and send to her with the actual contract. But it's tab and tab, and we'll scan it for her first thing in the morning and send it to her. Unless she wants to pick up her packet tonight. But it's tab and tab. Did we not email this to them? We emailed it to the, we emailed it to the whole council. I made sure of that. But did we send her over? Okay. Instructions were provided to email. Did y'all get a copy of it? Anybody check the email?
I'll go back and check for us.
So
Yeah,
we
but-
send one for every meeting via email.
We
The
sent the,
packet.
okay, I thought so. Oh, well. No, I thought, I instructed for this to be sent to y'all. So that y'all would just have it for your reference once we execute it. All right, thank you so very much. Council in front of you, can,
Letter E.
yeah. Oh, stay up here, Miss Candy, just so you can have.
Council to discuss is the FY '26 budget.
And council, this is just a discussion, just take some time. Next week, we probably have more in-depth conversation. But Karen redid our budget based on 9 meal rate, 2% interest rate, the funded properties, the funded positions on the last sheet. You'll have your 2024 unaudited budget. You'll have the 2025 approved budget, and you'll have the 2026 proposed budget. I would ask that this week, if you take some time to look on, I know it's a short week, but if you would let us know by the close of business on Thursday, any details or any specific line items that you all want to see. I just didn't want to go through you all. It's a lot of work to expand every line item. But if there's a certain line item, if you'll give it to us by the close of business on Thursday, we'll have it to you by the close of business on Friday and share it with the entire group. Y'all understand what I'm saying, kind of? Like, for example, if you wanted to look at line item 31-3000, general sales and use taxes up on the revenue, and you wanted to see what that looks like expanded, then we could go in and do that. But rather than do that for every line item, just go through and let me know which ones you want. Any questions on how we prepared this or any other documents that we can provide for you that would just kind of help as we move through this? What do you remember what the contingency was for this one?
There's no contingency left.
Okay, so there is no
So we're operating with a zero contingency.
So with this 9 mil, we're operating with a zero contingency. So what we have in here is what we have in here. So there is no contingency. Yes.
As far as any other documents that we may need, is there like a summary of the things that were cut, like before we received a summary of all of the employees, or is there a summary of the major cuts or changes that occurred?
I think the best way to look at that, and staff, if you all, as we were doing it, look at the 2025, because remember originally I told them to just roll over 2025. So anything different from 2025 is a cut. So I think that's probably the best way to look at it. So for example, if you were to go look at line number 17, our travel, it was originally 2,500. We cut it down to 1,250. And so you can see from the 25. So I could have them go in and highlight it, or y'all can just kind of glance and scan.
I was thinking more so as far as just the staff.
Well, they went in on, so when they do their budget cuts, we have their budget in front of it like you do, and you just strike through. and adjust. I'm trying to think of any other major ones. Does this include the bucket truck, Marcus? Does this include your bucket truck? I don't think so. Yeah, it doesn't include any new equipment for public works, so we don't get the street sweeper. We don't get anything for public works that we needed. And we took out the 4 police officers, the 2 code enforcement, the general labor 3. So those are the changes. We took them out at first and only cut 2 police officers. Remember, these also, let me just say this, of the 1, 2, 3, let me see, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, of the 14 positions that are cut, only 2 of them are currently filled. I think that's important to know. It's still not a good thing. And staff, I will be coming before you if we don't find placement options for them within the city, asking for some type of severance for these individuals. So of the 14 positions that are not going to be funded, 2 of them are currently employed, the rest of them are vacant. Y'all got any questions on that? All right, I know we just gave you this today. Ms. Karen Rushton get it. Any other additions that we need to add to this? Yeah, so just some highlights. There's no contingency. And so after you all give me some feedback, we will go in and cut probably about $200,000 more, which might end up being either take the 2%. Yeah, and that's what I need to know. Council, if it's your pleasure to take the 2% raise as you're thinking through this, because we looked at other things. Again, the proposed budget is necessity. There is no wiggle room in here. We've taken all the wiggle room out. So the only thing we're left with is additional staff cuts, alleviating the 2% raise, not paying for the health insurance. But I think it's pretty skeletal. But if my eyes have seen this 1,000 times, if you all can look at it again and say, hey, we can cut from here, let me know. We cut the special initiative, we put it back at 1,000. I would just lean into that because that would only be like a $6,000 savings. And I think the impact of what we do with our special initiatives for the community is worth having, and I think the community would support that. I also heard several community members say something about the concert. I think we did cut that in half, enough to have 1 concert next year. And then there was one other thing that, we thought we could save on cellular phones. If y'all didn't want y'all cellular phones anymore, y'all could turn them in. That would save us some money. No, seriously, like, we didn't have them before I implemented them when I became mayor. So I tried to think of things that I did that cost money. So we didn't have, just for the public, elected officials other than the mayor didn't have cell phones. And I thought it was important that they do have cell phones, because if you have to do an open records request, you have to turn in your personal phone. And so a lot of our staff, I just don't feel like that's fair. So those are new expenses that we incurred. Anyone that uses their phone for city business, such as executive assistants and things like that, we provided phones. But that is something that we could go back to prior to me being mayor, and I would still keep mine, but council, you all don't have to have you all. So I was just trying to think of options of money that had not been previously spent that I spent. We went through all of the enterprise vehicles, Chief. We cleaned that all up. So this, for next year, we have some vehicles dropped off, and so we cleaned that up as much as we could. And what else was there? The capital outlay vehicles, that was a hard hit. We're not going to be able to include that in public works, which is, I just don't know how we're going to address the concerns of the citizens without the necessary equipment. Marcus sold some equipment, and we made a little bit of money. All righty, I think that's all. So if y'all would look at it again and let the record show that I'm requesting that by the close of business Thursday, any additional details. I'm not asking for a vote next week. I'm asking just for a continued dialogue, and I would probably propose the final budget in the council meeting in October. And if you all feel like we want to have a budget retreat, do y'all want a budget retreat? Y'all want some budget time outside of council meeting? Councilman Powell?
I don't, no, I don't think so.
Councilman Dixon? Well, let's do it like this. I'll entertain a motion to schedule a budget retreat open to the public sometime between now and the second week of October.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, is it going to be here, or are we going somewhere else that the public won't show up at?
It just depends. Sometimes it'll be somewhere in the city, like we thought about Arts Clayton, we thought about the school board, sometimes just so the public can know. I like to take the retreats away from here because like when you're here, the employees are constantly being distracted. And so we call it a retreat, but we're not going to like Lake Lanier or Callaway Gardens, so it's a common practice. So we try to find one, a building that we're not charged with, and two, that's one in the city. I see Ms. Casey here, they always let us use Arts Clayton. We've also used LTI, so I can't promise, it probably will not be here, but it will be within the city limits of Jonesboro. All in favor? I'm sorry, any more discussion?
So do I need to amend that motion to make sure that it includes?
No,
that
I
it
just
stays
told
in
you
the
that
city
it
of
is, so
Jonesboro?
it'll be fine.
Okay.
You're not. Can I buy some food? Okay. All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed?
Me.
Mayor Pro Tem? Okay, but you're in favor of the motion. We didn't pick a day yet. So we need to amend the motion. Huh?
She can't vote
Why she can't vote?
because she's appearing by phone, you have to be present.
I thought for Zoom, if this counts as her Zoom, she can. She's never used the Zoom. Well, we have.
Right,
Is-
twice a year, but you can't vote.
The charter say that? Does the charter say that? Well, hold on a second, Mayor Pro Tem, they're checking. I thought you could vote.
That's all it could do.
Well, can you find it? Okay. Can we suspend that vote for a second? Can we suspend that vote until we get additional clarification? Have we voted on anything else today, y'all? We haven't. Today was our first vote, other than the agenda, but she wasn't here for that. Okay. You would like to continue discussion? Well, even if you don't vote, it's gonna carry. Even if you don't vote, the motion will still carry. She's saying that she's only gonna vote for it if it can be on Monday and Saturday, and I'm not gonna ask staff to come up on a Saturday.
I'm not for that. Why am I supposed to got to be Thursday?
No, I'm asking, is that what she said?
What is she?
She's requesting the meeting to be, for the meeting to be on Monday or on Saturday?
Yeah, but that wasn't part of the motion.
I'm asking, is that what she's asking for?
Mayor Pro Tem, you're asking for it to be on a Monday or a Saturday? Okay. Okay, so right now, the motion is for a budget meeting within the next, to a budget meeting prior to approval of the budget. It's been appropriate second, it's no further discussion. We all voted, it was 5 yays and 1 nay. Okay, and Mayor Pro Tem, we'll work with you. It probably will not be a Saturday, because staff would need to be there. But we can work on looking at a Monday. Would it have to be Monday during the day or in the afternoon? Okay, well, we'll try that. Anybody, unless somebody, so we'll reach out. Shelby will send some information. Thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem. Let's move on to new business.
New business, letter A, council to discuss conditional use permit application 25 CUP 008 submitted by Clody Elvey. This request is to operate an automotive repair shop. The property is located at 239 South Main Street, Jonesboro, Georgia 30236, parcel 0600 1C D006. Required hearing and consideration set for Monday, September 8th. Staff recommends approval with conditions.
Good evening again, Mayor, Council, and citizens of the City of Jonesboro. The item before you is for a request for a conditional use permit to allow the operation of an automotive repair shop providing light repair services within the C2 Howard Commercial District. The subject property is approximately 1.22 plus or minus acres and is located within the Gateway South area. Surrounding land uses include a mix of residential and commercial zoning, with the residential subdivision located to the east. Automotive repair uses in the C2 zone district must meet specific conditions, including screening of inoperable vehicles from public view in adjacent residential areas, proper storage and disposal of fluids, a 25-foot wide vegetative buffer between the facility and any adjacent residential property, and a location on the roadway classified as a collector or higher. The applicant at this time has submitted a survey, however, has not provided a site plan to show that the site meets the conditions required for this use. So staff recommends approval for this use, but we're requiring that they provide a site plan that shows that they meet the conditions.
And we would have to have that site plan to you by Thursday, because I need you to approve the site plan, because if they don't have a site plan, then there's no conditions, or the site plan might lend some additional conditions. So is the applicant here? Okay. So, we'll need to get your site plan if you want the hearing to be next week. Without a site plan, we won't be able to do it. All right, so you can reach out to Ms. Akuta and get it, and she'll approve the site plan. And then once you tell us that the site plan was approved and suitable, then we'll go forward with the approval.
Thank you. Letter B, council to discuss alcohol beverage package license application 25 ALC 006 to sell beer and wine at 8113 Tara Boulevard, Suite A, Jonesboro, Georgia 30236. The legal business name is Buddy's 8113 Market LLC, doing business as Buddy's Food Mart, number 3618. Swapping Deep Singe has requested to be the license representative. Required hearing and consideration set for Monday, September 8th, 2025. Staff recommends approval.
Good evening. This is an existing business and it's under new ownership. The applicant did provide all the required documentation, and in regards to the background check, it was completed and there were no violations or concerns, so staff is recommending approval.
Thank you. This one requires a hearing. Council, is there any questions or anything for the applicant or for Mrs. Akuta? Thank you so much.
Letter C, council to discuss alcohol beverage package license application 25 ALC 007 to sell beer and wine at 190 Jonesboro Road, Jonesboro, Georgia 30236. The legal business name is Nirvan Enterprise LLC, doing business as Texaco Food Mart. Damir Singe has requested to be the licensed representative. Required hearing and consideration set for Monday, September 8th, 2025. Staff recommends approval.
Good evening. Again, this is an existing location operating under new ownership. The applicant has satisfied all the application requirements, and the background check and fingerprinting came back with no violations or concerns. Staff is recommending approval.
Council, any questions? This requires a hearing.
No questions.
All right. At this time, council to discuss the Christmas parade with Arts Clayton. Is that going to be you, Mr. Simpson? Thank you so much.
Okay, so the Christmas parade is coming back.
Yes.
You want to introduce Miss Casey?
Okay, so it's going to be a bit different though. So we'll be partnering with Arts Clayton. We are asking for road closures, and I will now hand it over to Miss Casey from Arts Clayton.
Thank you.
Hello. So we would like to have
To the
it
microphone.
Oh, sorry. We would like to have it Saturday, December 6th, to have the staging and check-in where it had once before, the 300 block of North Main Street, starting about 2 p.m. The route will end at Lee Street, going through Main Street up to Arts Clayton, and then kind of going down.
Not West Mill.
Church Street. You're going to turn down Church Street And then the side street
Well, I thought
behind
we
me-
were still working on the ending.
No, we have it.
I have it.
North Main Street to North Avenue, turning on Church Street, then to Riley Way, then it'll be a left on Mill Street, and then it'll be a right down Lee Street, ending at Lee Street Park.
That's not
Lineup
bad.
is gonna start at 2 p.m. We're hoping to get the parade started about 3:15. We're hoping that the parade will end at about 5:30, based on the length and previous parades. We are still looking for our grand marshal, but we do have a cow coming from Chick-fil-A. And we will also have some hot cocoa and s'mores and pictures with Santa at the end.
You did a whole lot of turns there, and me and Chief were both looking at each other. I'm like, you was turning right on Lee Street, so yeah, we gotta,
So one of the concerns we had, Mayor, was in the previous ending location, it was slotted at the end in one place, but they dismantled and broke up at the parking lot across from Newburgh, where it held up a lot of traffic.
Okay.
They weren't supposed to stop there, but they just did. But people parked their cars there, so all the things kind of dispersed, kids were running across the street, which made it a safety hazard.
okay, that's what I remember. And we'll talk about it again, because I know we also talked about, rather than having so many turns through the neighborhood and confining those streets, that I thought we would just start it sooner and then make a right on Smith Street
Well,
and parade all the way down.
And I'm completely fine with us going and turning on West Mill and then turning on Lee and then
Yeah, I think
ending
that was
right
it.
there. That's a lot quicker, and that was
Okay.
one of the plans that we had talked about
Okay.
as well. And I know that he was talking about the breakup in that parking lot on the corner of West Mill and Lee. But maybe we can put some barriers up there. Maybe we can control when they're able to leave. Like, you're not able to leave that parking lot until the parade is done, since it's part of the parade route.
Yeah, and we'll talk, just because it interferes with some businesses, so we just have it. But I think we'll be fine on that. We can work on that. And I think the depot is our stage for our final performance there.
That is correct.
All right, and just so you know, council, our tree will be lit the Thursday prior to that, so the tree will already be lit when they get there.
Yes.
All right, and we're partnering with you all, and we're really excited about that.
Mayor,
Thank
I
you
got a
so much.
comment.
Yes, Councilman Powell?
In the past, we've had, when we've had the parade, we had a staging on North Main Street before, it did not work out well. Where it has worked well, is Stockbridge Road, with all the schools.
So when we staged on North Main, we've only staged there once, and it worked extremely well. That was for the Martin Luther, well, did you come to the Martin Luther King parade?
Yep.
I thought it went really well. We got lots of feedback. Chief, I don't think we had any, we didn't get any. Most of the business was really excited because people were patronizing them that were open. The convenience stores got a lot of business. The businesses that we talked to did very well, and we spoke with, yeah, we'll consider that. But I mean, it worked well on the north one because it was a straight shot. What happened when we did the old Stockbridge Road, people getting there and parking, there was a significant amount of the route where people weren't standing. And then once you cross over the railroad track, then it was like a whole herd of people there. And a public safety concern not wanting to cross the railroad track. So when we did, the only time that we've done a staging, that was our first time, was with the Martin Luther King parade. And it was excellent. Like, the businesses might have complained to him, but I don't think Shelby, did you get any complaints? And like I said, there were several businesses that appreciated it because they make money.
I do know of one, I spoke to him last week and told him that, we could involve him in the discussion process. Maybe they could have some sales on cake and things like that, it's great clothes.
Oh, you talking about cranes?
Our friends at Crane Hardware, yes.
Yeah, but we'll try not to use them, and we can actually stage without using them.
And the gas company has also said that they have a mobile unit that they could use for the start of the staging for everyone to check in, and volunteers with their department to kind of help make it a little bit smoother and have more volunteers helping at the beginning as
Yeah.
well. But we can definitely look at, making the safest.
Yeah, I think
route possible.
weighing out the cost of the public safety hazard, which was one of the reasons why we changed. So,
Well, yes.
Kids running from Main Street across
so we can kind of control traffic, and that allows us to keep North McDonough continuously open, because we don't have to impact that, do we? But we'll check into it, Councilman Powell, but this is the first, yes. Well, I'm glad they're telling y'all and not telling, because that's, well, maybe they'll have some. What time does Swint's close on, what time do they close on it?
3 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, so if anything, we'll just change the parade to later, and they close at 3, so we can start assembling at 3, and maybe we can do a parade at 4 or 5.
And we'll work with them, I think, for that last hour, because
I
we're
thought we
trying
worked
with
with
all
them,
the
too.
kids to do it during the daylight hours. I'll pay a visit to them and see if we can
Thank
work
you.
something out.
Extend our apologies, because we didn't know.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll figure something out with them. I'll reach out to them now that I know.
Thank you. So Cranes is one who had a
For
concern.
Cranes and for
Swints, but the other businesses, just check in with them, but all of, I guess,
Yeah.
those are the ones that didn't say anything to me. I only heard like great
That's one of the
things.
things that we're gonna go do. We have like a little packet for all of them, because we want them to feel like they are a part of it and to enjoy it as well. This is kind of like
And to have a float in it.
a give back that we want to do. And I would love some of the businesses in our area to do floats in it. We have a really fun float contest that's gonna happen.
That we're gonna win.
So we plan on making it really interesting, really fun, and just trying to get the community back to.
Can you, yeah, we have the, yeah, can you order a longer mic? Thank you. I'm sorry, Ms. Bruce.
Sorry.
That's better.
We're just really wanting to do a community give back.
She just wants it
and
to be a community
so
get back, so we're gonna
the
work with
companies
everybody.
However they need us to work with them.
All right, thank you.
Mayor, I have one more thing too.
Yes.
This is, thank you again for the partnership. We really appreciate this. This is in regards to the Grand Marshal. Have we considered reaching out to the Douglas brothers?
That was one.
Do you have a way to reach them?
Absolutely. We'd love to bring them back to Jonesboro for Christmas.
Well, if you
Did they
could
go to
reach out
Jonesboro
to
High
them.
School?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Jonesboro
that's
High
what I thought.
School, went to the NFL and NBA.
Can I ask him?
Yes, if anybody has those contacts, because I do not remember, I'm a transplant. I need help finding those contacts.
I thought we had one in the making, but.
Well, I had asked, and they won't be in town
Okay,
during that
perfect.
time.
All
That's
right.
how we ended up with a cow, but not them.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that one came up on our, the Douglas brothers came up on our list too, so we'll follow up. Thank you. We'll let you know our next planning meeting and anybody that wants to join, but we just have to get through the initial planning. Thank you so much, Casey. We look forward to that. And remember, the community Christmas tree lighting will be the Wednesday prior, and we're doing that with the Salvation Army, and Chief is doing a solo. All right, next on the agenda.
Mayor, are we
Um,
gonna do the
ca-
electric vehicle
Yeah.
charger?
So, council, if you all would just can you read item just for the record?
Council to discuss chargers for electric vehicles at the city center and continuing partnership between EnviroSpark and the city of Jonesboro, Georgia.
All right. So, council, what we found out, since the mayor uses the chargers there, I was just asking them, like, trying to see what the profit would be for the city, since I charge there so often, and we found out that the current contract, we don't make any money off of anyone charging. I don't know how that got past council, but basically, it's a convenience for the community, and then EnviroSpark makes the money. Am I correct? And EnviroSpark makes the money, and then we just pay the bill. So I was not aware of that, and we started having conversations. So I asked them to prepare. So you'll see the usage rate in there. I'm not the only one using it either. But there's also a new contract set up a different way that would allow us to not only not pay for the electric, the usage, but would also allow us to get a small percentage of their profit. I can't explain it any other way other than the previous mayor signed the contract saying that we'll pay for the power for people to come charge their cars. And EnviroSpark will get the money. So I think the first exhibit, is that the first one? The first one is the new contract. And we're going to try to get them to come next week, so I'm not asking for any type of motion on this particular item. But if you look at the second contract, and if you were to compare to the two, that's the one that basically we pay for all of the charging. And then when the client or the customer scans their credit card, the EB company gets that payment. Any questions on this? Again, at this time, without them being here, but I would like to get this resolved so that we can stop paying for people to charge their cars. Any questions or any understanding? Anything I can clarify? Or we can keep it. Y'all want to keep it like it is? That's what I kind of thought. Or at least break even. At least let them pay the power bill. That's what I did too, but when I started asking where the check was, they told me that we didn't get one. I was like, hey, when do we get our franchise check? And they was like, well, you all don't get one. That's not the program you all signed up for. So then I was like, well, how do we get paid for the power? And they was like, you all just pay it. So I'll give you all some time to look at that and let me know the direction. I did put a tentative new contract that's been approved, that's been looked over by Attorney Dreyer. We don't have to go with that one. But I needed something other than us paying for all the power. Council, any questions?
Mayor.
Yes.
And this is just probably just for clarity purposes.
Microphone, please.
Yeah, so this is probably just for clarity purposes. So was it just a change of heart that they just felt like they wanted to give us a percentage?
No, I just asked them. Like I originally started asking like, where is the franchise check? Like we get from Georgia Power or something like that. Only because I was patronizing at that point. And they couldn't provide one for me. And so then I said, well, how do we convey to you what we've paid for the usage? Is it on our meter? And they said, well, it's on our meter, and it just was not there. And it was a 10-year contract, so it wasn't necessarily a change of heart. It was just negotiating, like, I'm gonna find a way to get out of it unless we can come up with something that's mutually beneficial to us.
So is this something that we need to like start promoting within the city? Like we need people to come charge, or?
Well, not right now, because the more people come charge, the more we got to pay for it.
And that's what I'm just trying to figure out, like, you know.
I'm not sure. I wanted them to be here, but we were notified today that they couldn't come. If they can't come next week, then I probably would look at some legal, speaking to attorney to see how we can disengage, because they were supposed to. When did they notify us that they weren't coming?
I think today. Shelby.
Oh yeah, like today. So we were expecting them to come and speak on this, and then today they said they couldn't come. So we will re-extend an invitation for next week. And then if not, we can look at legally how we can disengage. I personally, and I don't know you all's thoughts, and please share on both sides of the dais, don't feel like it should be an amenity, because usually most people that use it don't live in the city. They're using it as in transient. Like they might charge while they're at a concert. They may charge while they're going down to Griffin or something like that. It's a transient.
You know, I was thinking about that, just taking advantage of people that are passing through Jonesboro too. Maybe that'll give them an opportunity to stop by one of our restaurants, go see some of the art at Arts Clayton down the street. And I'm just trying to think about just the possible benefits for the community.
Yeah. Data also shows that people that charge their cars, unlike me, will only walk X amount of feet away from their car.
Okay.
So that's why you see them in the Target parking lots and things like that. So they're not going to walk from here to Nouveau. They might walk from here and go participate at the park.
Yeah.
But there's a certain range that they walk, that it has to be walkability from. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, thank you. Can you go a little closer, Councilman Powell?
Is there, do we know, I'll talk a little louder.
There you go.
Can we go around to other places that have these chargers and see what they're doing and how much money the city or the business or whoever is making it available to people, to see what they're doing and who they're contracted with?
Yeah, we definitely can. I just know that, yes, definitely. And that's why I wanted to give them the first right of refusal, because it's easier for us to abbreviate a current contract than to try to get rid of that current contract that legally we might not be able to. But that's why I wanted them here. So I did ask them to give us our usage rate, so you'll see the usage rates inside. And yeah, what I was trying to get is find out how much this has cost us, but we haven't been able to We have not been able to get that. I did also request how much they've made, which hasn't been a whole lot because we don't get a lot of usage. So are you all in agreement to them coming next week, and if not, then going from there? All right, that's all. I just wanted to share that with you. I was hoping that they would be here.
Letter G,
Yes.
council to discuss the Historic Preservation Commission applicant Stephen Victor.
Did we scratch?
Oh, F.
Oh, I'm sorry. Council to consider approval of the consulting agreement with Georgia Municipal Association, Inc. and the City of Jonesboro, Georgia, to evaluate the city's current telecommunication and right-of-way practices and recommend updates to the existing permit process.
Can you bring her up here? Can you bring Mayor? She said she lost volume again. Mayor Pro Tem, how is this? A little better? I can't hear you. How is this? Come off of mute for just 1 second. Yes, that's better. Thank you. Okay, just let me know. She probably can hear better from up here, but I'll repeat. If you can't do anything, I can see you, just wave your hand. Okay, thank you. You're welcome.
Good evening. Article 3, under the utility accommodation policy of our charter, states the rules and guidelines for how utility companies such as electricity, water, gas, and telecommunications can install, maintain, and operate their equipment and infrastructure within the city's public rights of way. It's to ensure that the utility installations are done safely, efficiently, and with minimum disruption to the public and city services, while also protecting the city's infrastructure and appearance. Through the GMA Telecommunications Right-of-Way Management Program, the city will receive support in managing local and state-issued cable franchises, ensuring compliance with federal and state regulations, and overseeing public access channels. GMA will also assist in negotiating cellular and PCS tower site agreements, reviewing franchise compliance with financial and service obligations, and updating the city's rights-of-way ordinance. This agreement has initial annual fee of $3,438.40, and it is prorated based on the execution date.
So can you kind of give us like some layman's terms of what this is? I can just share briefly, we've had in the last 3 months, is it 3 or 4 telecommunications? Lumos, Zanos, Comcast, and AT&T. They're all trying to put this fiber optics in our right of way. And so managing that and managing it to the point where we get our franchise that we're entitled to, because there's some type of Georgia rule that says we get 3% for the customers.
I'm not sure the percentage, but I do have some figures of what we collected so far this year.
Okay.
So far, when it comes to phone franchises, it's been approximately $2,000. Electricity, it's been about 322,000.
Yeah.
I'll double check that. Gas, 23,000, and for cable, 15,000.
Okay.
And I'm not sure the percentage is not indicated.
How much was cable?
Cable, about 15,000.
So this was recommended by our attorney. This is a GMA organization that they've partnered with. The total for the year was how much again? 3,000?
Oh, for the, yes, $3,438.40.
Is that the whole year, or the prorated amount?
The whole year, and then the prorated amount is based off of that.
Correct. So I had asked that we utilize them for the rest of the year, because I believe once we get past this mountain of those, that I don't think anybody else can come behind, but they would help us just as far as negotiating to make sure the contract is suitable, that is in compliance with Georgia state law as regulation stipulates what is necessary for telecommunications. And then it would just give someone else. Again, it's kind of like those new things that pop up that charters and ordinances don't necessarily directly address. And so, council, I would ask that this roll over to the consent agenda unless you all have additional questions. So the total amount will be about $1,400 for this year.
You said it. What's the last thing you said?
The total amount would be a prorated amount, which would be like $1,400. Mrs. Akuta?
It may be a little less.
It's a little. There. Yeah, I think it started out in $1,400 because we were going to put it on our August agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Council, can this move to the consent agenda?
I just had a question about it,
Mm-hmm.
and GMA, we appreciate the partnerships with GMA. They've always came through for us. But just curious, like how long, what is the timeline for this?
It's
Like,
a
this is
12-month
on-
program, so every time she gets an applicant, she'll reach out to them and help. So we'll
And
be
if we-
paying for the end of the year. If
Okay.
we want to renew the contract, then we'll renew in January for a full year.
And that's for the 34, correct?
Yes.
Gotcha.
I don't know what next year will be, but right now, this year was 34.
Okay.
Mayor?
Yes.
May I make one comment about
Yes,
this?
please.
There are a ton of very aggressive, sometimes aggressive, not all of them, salespeople that keep approaching, and this is just incredibly technical. GMA has already probably donated 5 hours of time to Jonesboro to help me, help the mayor, help Faith, other attorneys in my office. It's just incredibly technical process, and with the way the sales approach works from a few of these, it would give me a lot more confidence that City of Jonesboro is getting the best deal, and GMA they've been terrific and professional with this.
And we've had a few of those aggressive salespeople,
Yes.
like the whole department knows. So council, do you all mind if this goes over to the consent agenda for the remainder of the year, and we'll revisit the contract in January, so it would not have automatic renewal? Are y'all okay down there?
I'm good.
Okay, perfect. We'll move that to the consent agenda. Thank you so much. I know you're very happy. Are you for G&H, the historic preservation?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Okay. Council to discuss the Historic Preservation Commission applicant, Stephen Victor.
Good evening. So we have an applicant, Mr. Stephen Victor, for our Historic Preservation Commission. A little bit about the applicant. He holds a Master of Architecture from Georgia Tech, and he's currently pursuing his architectural licensure. He's experienced in retail, multifamily housing, healthcare, hospitality, public assembly, and amphitheater projects. For HPC, we are recommending approval of this particular applicant. We need at least 4 to have a quorum, and we really need this approval to proceed.
Council, can this go, when is your next meeting?
I can have it scheduled as soon as he's,
Would you like a vote tonight? Can we vote tonight, Attorney? I'll entertain a motion to approve Stephen Victor for applicant to our Historic Preservation Commission commission,
So
as an applicant.
made. So made.
Any discussion, council? All in favor?
All right.
I'm sure you're asking for the same thing for the Design Review Commission?
yes,
I'll entertain a motion for approval for Stephen Victor to serve on our Design Review Commission. How long is this, these seats, 2 years?
2 years.
2 years. Council, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Any discussion? Mayor, I'm sorry, Councilwoman Asia Miller?
Do we typically have people serving on multiple boards within the city? How often do we have that?
So I'm still kind of new to
Well,
this.
for this one, we do because the skill set, like when you get somebody like that, they may change across. And Maria says that happens often. Yeah, you're probably not gonna find nobody else though.
Yes, and he's willing to serve on both. So.
And it's the same situation with the design review board. You need it for the quorum to continue, or you all have enough members?
Yes. I may have to check with Andrew to double check
I'm right
the
here.
numbers.
Can you hear me? So Asia, so just in regard, I'm going to repeat for Mayor Pro Tem. So in regard to the Design Review Board, I believe that's one of the commissions where there has to be certain people in certain field for every one. So you have to have one resident, you have to have, so he checks off a box that we need to maintain the,
He's a resident, he has the qualifications, because Design Review Board, you can be a business owner, but with Historic Preservation, you actually have to be a resident of the city of Jonesboro. So he's both.
all right, so there's a motion on the floor, it's been appropriately second. All in favor?
All right.
Any opposition? All right, Stephen here, Mr. Victor here today?
Not right now.
No, I don't believe he's here today.
Okay, thank you.
Letter I, council to discuss the Downtown Development Board Authority applicants.
Thank you, Andrew. How are you? Good morning, afternoon, Mr. Simpson.
Again. So this is going to be slightly different. I know we've alluded to what qualifications somebody needs. At the end of each year, I've got until January 15th, I've got to put in the assessment for Jonesboro Main Street with the National Main Street organisation. National Main Street tells me what we need and what's missing from our Jonesboro Main Street board. One of which is somebody under the age of 40. So we don't have anyone under the age of 40
That's
on
not-
our DDA
No, I'm
board.
EOC. Okay.
So we would need one of those. That helps me with my points. Okay. But also, we need more men on the board as well. Again, we got dinged on that, and we'd need another man on the board.
But we can't exclude a woman on the board. Just don't want to get in trouble no more.
No.
That's good.
For
But for
So-
point purposes, yeah.
Yeah, so they would like to be qualified. Of course, you just can't have somebody on the board who's a man or under the age of 40. They have to be qualified. I'm just letting you know what National Main Street told me when I was creating the assessment. We are dinged on nobody under the age of 40. And we are short on men on the board. We currently have one male on the board out of 7.
Can you go over the qualifications for being on the DDA? I think that's important.
You have to basically either live in the city of Jonesboro or own property, i.e. a house or a business in the city of Jonesboro, but you can live in an adjacent county. So you could live in Fayette County, for example, but you would own a business in downtown Jonesboro and you will qualify on that. It's basically the clause is owning property. It doesn't mean that you can just go down there, say Inuvo, buy a meal and you own like financial interest in Jonesboro. It doesn't work that way. It has to be like a business, a building, or you actually own property in the residential area. And we have some board members that own a residence in the downtown area. So the ones I've put before you this evening do qualify under those criteria. I'm just letting you have the extra criteria that I've been told from Main Street America to make our board more diverse, because currently it isn't.
So are these just the applicants or are these the people that you said you're recommending?
These are applicants. I leave it up to the board to choose, the city council to choose my board members. There's 4 applicants. There are 2 vacancies.
So we would probably go on your recommendation. Why, I'm just asking, and I should probably know this, why isn't the DDA picking their own board members? Is that not what so it says that we have to?
Yeah,
All right, so you have 2 seats open?
Yes.
All right, so next week, can you come back with a recommendation for those 2?
Oh, I can do a recommendation now.
Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
So I would
And in
recommend...
the future, I just prefer for us to publish your recommendations and you leave the rest for Open Records Act. Okay,
Sure.
thank you.
So I would recommend Tiara Turner because she has a business in the downtown, number 1, and she does fit the criteria of being under 40.
Okay.
So for me, the fact that she has a business interest, she has come to DDA meetings,
All right, who's-
fits my criteria perfectly, would definitely say yes, I would recommend Tiara Turner.
And your second one?
So for my second one, I would probably go for Christopher Williams. He's a resident in the Grove. I think that would be a very good addition. It's a different residence that we have. Usually our residents are in the historic downtown district. I spoke to him today, and I said, well, you know, we've spoken before and he's interested in economic development in downtown. And I said, well, have you thought about going on the historic preservation board? And now he's considering that, and he actually wants to put in an application to be on that board. So yes, sometimes we do need people on more than one board because they can bring what they learn, say, from design review or historic preservation into the Main Street board, because design is one of the 4 pillars of Main Street, and historic preservation is basically what created Main Street in the first place.
All right, so we got 2 recommendations, Tiara Turner and Christopher Williams. I entertain a motion to approve the applicants Sierra Turner and Christopher Williams for our Downtown Development Board Authority.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
I just have a question. Completely fine with going with your approvals, but I see that the 1 Foot Junior says that he has 3 active businesses in Jonesboro and MBA and in business, graduate of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 business program, all of these things. And so, I mean, all due respect, just wondering what made you choose Christopher over him? Is it just because you want a resident instead of so many business owners?
I'm trying to get a resident.
Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem?
I was just gonna suggest that maybe the council have a chance to look over, I was planning on voting on those next week, to read through those applications, they're attached to the agenda packet, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's in the agenda packet.
I'm sorry, could you hear me?
So there's already been a motion on the floor. It's been appropriately second.
And we were just discussing.
No, I'm just saying, so I mean, I have to figure, I gotta, if we're taking it off the floor, I'm just trying to figure out, gotta go backward. So, Councilman Dixon made the motion. Would you like to rescind your motion? I mean, we don't have to, we can let the
Yeah.
vote carry and see if it carries or not.
I'll just speak, I'm encouraged of the amount of residents and people that's interested in the position. They've been showing up, each and every time to council meetings and just different things within the community. I totally, respect Andrew's recommendations, and I would love to move forward.
Okay, we
with
got a
this.
motion on the floor. It's been appropriately second. All in favor?
All right.
Any opposition? All right. Thank you so much. Andrew, if you would get me their addresses, please,
I
and
will.
email them to me, I appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Council to discuss furniture for the Public Works Department. This is for our new renovation building. Taylor, you want to come up for this one? And Marcus, who's going to talk on this one? So, Council, Ms. Taylor has worked, have y'all met, some of y'all haven't met Ms. Taylor?
Yes.
Okay, I think y'all have. Ms. Taylor has worked really closely with Marcus to get 4 quotes, and she also applied for the registry with the state of Georgia so that we could get the best prices, which I think is like 20 or 30% lower. And so we have before you the recommendations. And Marcus, what company did we would like to go with, and what was the final total on that?
Corporate environments for $44,759.95.
Ms. Taylor, where was that? Well, that wasn't the cheapest, was it?
No,
The cheapest was, least expensive, that's better.
the least expensive was $35,952. But for comparison, the other two were around $47,000. And that didn't include the lockers, which estimate about $6,000. And then office interiors had $67,000 and then $39,000. But the $39,000 didn't include an additional 20% for delivery and installation. So the one we picked was a good average price, and they seemed like they had really good quality. So
And they actually came and physically did, I think all of them came out, all 4 came out.
most of them, Empire did not, and that was the one that was missing the lockers.
And council, I would ask that we entertain, that this go to the consent agenda for next week for approval of, what was the name of the contract, the people?
For corporate environments.
That we move to the consent agenda, and we will call them this week. I didn't want to call everybody and put them on, but to make sure that we could get delivery by the end of the year. This includes warranty and everything. Council, are y'all okay with this going to the consent agenda? Your pictures and everything? Yes, sir.
After you change the budget,
Huh?
after you change the budget.
Okay, talk to me about that. Not to change the
You only
budget.
got 30,000
Huh? No.
budgeted for it, and you
Okay,
expect
okay, well, hold on a
spend
sec, hold
47.
on a second.
All right.
Okay. So, Mrs. Kennedy, we went through the Public Works Department. That's why I've asked it to be moved to the consent agenda so that we knew it was no use to me. I can't adjust the budget until I know which one you're going to. That happens first. So now that I know that you all would consider the consent agenda, then we'll go into the budget. We've cleaned up every budget item, and there is some overage in several of Mr. Hurd's line items that we would transfer over to make the difference. But I couldn't do a budget transfer until I knew which one y'all were going with.
Corporate environments, it should be the third one.
And we tried to find stuff that was comparable to what we have over here, and that one was one of the ones that was comparable. So if it goes to the consent agenda, then Mrs. Kennedy will bring up the budget amendment for next week. We just didn't want to move the money until we knew which one you all would be okay with. Are y'all okay with that one? All right, well, can it go to the consent agenda? Y'all can always take it off the consent agenda next week. You okay with that? Okay. So we do have money. It's just in other line items. But if y'all had said the 50,000 one, then I would have had to go get more money. So now I know exactly how much we need to go get. And there are some other small incidentals that we just need to check and verify, like the signage for the doors and things like that. So any objections to going to the consent agenda? All right. Thank you. It'll be on the consent agenda, and we'll have the budget amendment for it as well.
Letter K, council to discuss 2026 employee holiday schedule.
Council, I would like to approve the employee schedule in November. I didn't want to wait till the last minute, so I would ask you all to just consider, this year we gave 2 floating holidays or 3? 2 floating holidays. And so I'll have one prepared for you all next week to review. I just want to get any feedback as I work on the employee calendar for 2026. Would you all be okay with still maintaining the 2 floating holidays for consideration? That doesn't, and there's no birthdays, just 2 floating holidays. Y'all okay with that? Okay, so we will have that with you all. Y'all okay?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect, thank you. So we will present that to you based on where the holidays fall.
Letter L, council to discuss 2026 council meeting schedule.
Yeah, we're trying to get ahead of everything. We're usually always running behind, so we're going to try to get ahead. Council, there was a suggestion from someone, a resident actually, that our meetings run the same evening as many of the BOC meetings. And so, like they have a BOC meeting tonight. It's not always, but it's just one. And so, I would like to get with them, see if they're going to maintain that, but I do feel like it would be appropriate that our I think it's usually our work sessions that fall when we move them to a Tuesday, because their meetings are on a Tuesday. So as I'm creating this calendar, I know last year we agreed to move them to a Tuesday, but as I look at the schedule for next week, I'm going to try not to move them to a Tuesday, which means that if we miss a Monday, would you all be opposed to not doing the first and third, but maybe the second and the third, something to where, because there's our own Tuesday nights that residents have the option to go to both. And I was speaking to a resident today that wanted to come today, but because theirs are on Tuesday, she went to Tuesdays. So just something to consider as I propose the council schedule for November. And if you all have any feedback moving forward as we look at the holiday schedule, please share it with me. Y'all okay with that?
All right. Letter M, council to discuss nuance abatement ordinance.
Did we ever get copies of those? Did somebody make copies? Nobody made copies? Okay. Okay, so council, remember we had the training. We will forward that email to you all, because next week I would like for us to entertain a vote on the is it an ordinance or it's an ordinance, isn't it?
In the ordinance, it's pretty big. But yeah, I said it just didn't go to Shelby, so it can be certain.
Okay, Shelby, if you would send it out to council. And the reason why I want it to be approved next week is because we want to start in this year moving forward with the abatement process and creating an abatement committee so we can focus on 3 or 4 processes. This has been something long time in the making, and I think we can make some leeway the remainder of the year. Any questions on that for those that, I know several of you all, I think just you, attended the abatement training, but we have updated our ordinance to include all current Georgia legislation as it applies, and there was a few little gaps in ours that it didn't address. Any questions on that, council? All right, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to go. Anybody else? Okay, I entertain a motion to go into executive session for the discussion of personnel matters.
So moved.
All right. Is there a second? Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
All right.
All right. Council, this can take like 5 minutes and we all go straight back there, I promise. I'm gonna go straight back. Okay, come on. Oh. Mayor Pro Tem. No. Chief is. Can I get a second? All in favor? Aye. Any opposition? We're now in regular session. Here you go. I thought you had one, okay. Is there any business to be heard before the council from our executive session?
I'd like to make a motion, Mayor. I'd like to make a motion that we move Faith Akuta from serving as our Economic Development Manager to our interim Community Development Director until the Community Development Director position is filled, adjusting a salary from $68,500 to $78,000.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you so much. You're the interim by title. You already been doing it. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? We're now adjourned. You all have a good evening. Thank you all for joining us today.